What's going on, world? You're rocking with the young man Nuke, and this is Fresh Radio, where I bring you family, revolution, edutainment, spirituality, health, and hip-hop all in one show. Hey, how are you doing? It's been a minute. I haven't done this in a while. It's been, I think I did a 50th show, 50th episode, and then I fell back. I was doing an episode a day for 50 days. And I should have did another 50 more. Honestly, I should have did another 50 more. But truth be told, I was, just living life. Things were going on. I'm almost at the point where I can talk about things that have been going on in my life. But currently, I am at a point where I could talk. I want to, or not even want to, I will be making this a weekly show. We're not going to do daily anymore just because of the current situation that's going on. It's the busy season. You know, for those who don't know, they know I sell insurance. And this year I'm selling ACA, Affordable Care Act insurance. And we're rolling into the busy season. So I'm going to be tied down. And if you don't follow me on the social medias, you know that I got this second job, and it's really kicking my apostrophe. Either way, so allow me to touch bases with everyone out there, new, old, and whatnot. I am the young man Nuke, N-U-K, no E. And I've been in the entertainment industry officially since 2004. I decided in 2014, after my child was born, to have another outlet, just as a human, going through a human experience would say, I just wanted another outlet. And I was aware of Blog Talk Radio. I didn't know how to use it. I made sure that I took the time to learn how to actually do this hosting thing. I've hosted events before, a couple times, 3, 4, 5, 7 times. Matter of fact, I've been a host for a long time. That's crazy when you think about it that way. But either way, I've never been one to captivate an audience with only my vocals alone, and I've done that now. But my thing was with the podcast, I just wanted to make sure that I could do it like that and keep it smooth. So I started it August 2014, and I've been rolling since then. There has been a few different hiatuses, just trying to figure it all out, carving my own lane and doing my own niche, family, revolution, edutainment, spirituality, health, and hip-hop. So that allowed me to talk about the things that mean the most to me. And I'm able to express the things that are going on through my podcast verbally as opposed to musically. And what is it called? Literacy. What? Whenever I'm writing and you read it, yeah, that part, whatever word that is. Somebody chime in and tell me what word that is. The goal is for me is to deliver these topics on a weekly basis, and I'm going to continue to do this on a weekly basis until further notice. I am a little late today because I was taking a test to make sure that I'm compliant for my 9 to 5. But I want to make sure that I'll do this at 9 o'clock. I can probably go earlier, but I want to know. I know I want to do this at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard. I think that's a good time. So I do believe I've stuck to that. Every week the goal is to, for those who don't know, Sunday is the top of the week. Sunday is actually the first day of the week. So, this is where you plan, plot, strategize. That's why a lot of folks celebrate the Sabbath being the Saturday. They take that day as a day of rest. Because after everything you've created throughout the week, you rest on the Saturday. Then we begin it again on Sunday. So that's kind of the reason why I want to do this. I want to make a weekly event out of the prior week's events. Whatever been going on in the news, I want to chime in on it. Tap in, chime in. I want to speak about it. There's a couple events that I missed, and I really didn't give my thoughts on it. So I'm going to take this time to speak on it for sure. Charlie Kirk. Never heard of his name until he died. Wasn't paying attention to him like that, so I don't know much about him. Can say that since he has passed away, murdered, a lot of things have came out about his character, about his internal dialogue, about his way of looking at things through his perspective, his lens. I don't know the man enough to say one way or the other. I just know that something strange is going on. Who you gonna call? Okay. Asada Shakur passed away. I think she was 77. I think that's what that was. I didn't make a formal Facebook post. I did post on Snapchat. And I may have said something on Threads. I know I don't know Asada like that. Like I know what she did, and I know why she did what she did, and I know why she's where she went. I know all of those things, but as far as her story, I don't know. So I don't want to be one of those fake black political people who find every chance to speak black unity and are not about it in real life. So I didn't make my post because I didn't know what to say. That was a very, very personal occurrence for me, a very personal passing away. I didn't want to make it seem like I celebrated her life with my post that I did on Snapchat, but I didn't want to make it seem like this is an event that I wanted to be chimed in on, I wanted to take a part of. So, I kind of kept my thoughts and things of that nature to myself. It's hard enough when you lose somebody, but when you really don't know the impact of the person that was lost, it makes it a little bit more harder, a little bit more rough to really celebrate that person's life. So I hope that made sense. I don't want to make it seem like I'm rambling or nothing, but the goal was to, like I said, just make sure that she has her place, you know. Also, want to talk about the government being shut down. The government being shut down. Is it just me, or does it seem like the government gets shut down every 2-3 years or something like that? You know, I don't know. It's a little strange. A little strange. I know that we're in some weird times currently, and I try not to be political because I don't even know what political is, honestly, to be honest. But I try not to speak a lot on politics because I don't follow politics. I pay attention to more so what the politicians do than what they say. You know, they can say, "Oh, we're gonna end poverty," and they put everybody in prison. They don't got a job. Go figure. Make them do was it slave labor? I heard that in Louisiana, I don't know the name of the prison or the county or the parish, but I know it's in Louisiana for sure. It might be another state, but I know it's in Louisiana for sure. If you are in the penitentiary, not sure if it's local or federal, but either way, they will loan you out to corporations to work. Driving through Popeyes, and that Popeyes employee might be a prisoner making your food. I'm not going to get off into the money aspect because I don't know what it is. I don't know if I know they probably are not making minimum wage. Because if they're making minimum wage and they're in prison, I might need to go. Because, like, listen, man, that's kind of sounds like it's a deal, man. 3 hots and a cot and you don't got to pay rent. What? Get to work out and read books all day. Don't have to take care of my children. Sounds like it might be, I don't know. But yeah, no, look into it if you didn't know. I want to do more of that, you know, what I just did. I want to do more interacting. I want to do more real time. There are people who are listening to this who are going to listen to the whole video, and I appreciate that. I need comments. I need feedback, because that's actually what I'm doing this for. I am taking the platform, I guess, to a whole nother plateau. I will be incorporating video somehow, some way for those people who want to see my ADH ways. I want to do more interviews. I will be doing more interviews for sure. I will be making sure that I'm sticking to this fresh topic. Family, revolution, edutainment, spirituality, health, hip-hop. All in one show. Every time I do a show, I don't want to do it every day. I know that I need to work on crafting the content for me to curate. So that's truly what's happening right now. I'm not waiting until I have it done before I present it. I'm just like throwing it at you. So yeah, I apologize if this is a little rough. If it feels like I haven't used any lube, I'm just really trying to make sure that we can get something started before anything else. You don't want to not be able to perform correctly, if you dig what I'm saying. So let's do it like this: family, revolution, edutainment, spirituality, health, hip hop. Those are the overall topics of what I'm going to be talking about on this podcast. It's always been that way. For those who were there with me through the beginning, you remember the Nukes letter? Yeah, I was sending that out every Sunday. I'm going to eventually get me another one, and I just need to figure out how to be able to not only just afford it, but to incorporate it. So, yeah. It's amazing how much my phone activates and dings when I'm on it, when I'm like doing something else, recording or whatever. I don't want to turn it on silent, but it's crazy. It's crazy. So, with the family aspect, for those who don't know, I am a single father of 3 children, 1 girl, 2 boys, and me and their mother have finalized the divorce as of last October. So it's rolling on a year at this point. And I won't lie to you guys who listen, this has been the complication of mine. So as a man who was once a husband, I felt I failed my family because I wasn't able to put it together. I wasn't able to keep it together. I wasn't able to be the protector, the provider of the family. That's how I feel. And it sucks having that weight, especially when it takes 2 to tango. You can't lift the whole household up by yourself as much as you try, especially if there's other people in it. So, I just didn't have a partner, and that's what it really boiled down to. Not here pointing no fingers or nothing, because I definitely could. I could point fingers, but I ain't going to point no fingers because I don't need to point no fingers because everybody know what they did when they did it. But I just want to make sure that that's understood. I speak from a place not of hurt. I've done a lot of healing. I was healing while I was still in the relationship, but you get scabs opened up again, and that's wild. But I don't have to go through that. I haven't had to go through that for a while. A lot of people have been like, yo, you should speak about what you've been through. And I'm like, man, what do you want me to tell people what happened to me? Like, that's crazy. That doesn't even make no sense. So yeah, I have to do that, because if it's crazy to me, that means that it's probably the right thing for me to do. You dig? So I am going to start using my platform to make sure I can get that story out once a week. And it's not even that I'm trying to get the story out. I just want to get what I've taken from that. There are people who are going through, have went through, and might go through what I went through, and I have the platform to be able to express and inform, entertain, inform. One of those words. I can do that on this platform, so I will. I will be doing that. I have to get over my qualms of privacy, and I will be, names, whatever. I just got to keep it. It's not slander, just speaking my truth, for sure. But in the same breath, I am cognizant of the other peoples that are involved, So mainly my children, the children, and no, we're not here for that. This is all going to be a learning experience more so than anything. So I appreciate y'all for joining me with this new journey and whatever. So the F in Fresh is talking about family, and I kind of want to center it around a couple of different things. Like I said, I'm still working on this and I'm developing this, so bear with me. We're in a very, very raw form at this point, but I've really been working on this for a while. So I want to make sure I speak about balancing family and personal and business as a creative. You know, I want to come from that angle. You know, I am an entertainer in the music industry, and I've been so for quite some time. And coming back into me being me, I'm getting back to that, you know, without having another individual who I'm catering to. I'm mainly strictly catering to my music and my children. So I want to talk about parenting in this digital age. You dig? I definitely want to talk about that. Just parenting in general, but like, man, just how we can all come together, get it together, keep it together. You know, it's some things that I struggle with because those were never presented to me, but I would like to incorporate it into my family. And, you know, I have this platform, so I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about my struggles with parenting my children in this digital age. Healing generational trauma and building stronger bonds. There are things that go on inside of our all families, and you never really actually know what's going on with a person until they tell you, or until it comes out and they're crying, and you know they're unconsolable because you know you just have no idea how much what just happened triggered them. So like, yeah, I've done a lot of healing myself, and I still got healing to go. Healing is a journey. It is not there's no destination when it comes to healing. You just gotta heal. Gotta keep going. You know, like you're always, unfortunately, in the life that we lead currently, you're always going to get hurt. So you need to learn how to heal properly, so you can get up and keep going. The role of fathers in shaping confident children. I am a single father, and I've been told that I am a damn good daddy. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just know that there are things that, as a parent, I wish I had, and as a child, I wish I had these things from my parents too. So I try to provide it for my children, and maybe that leads to them being a little spoiled. If you know what spoiled means, tell me what spoiled means. I need to figure that part out, because what's your definition of spoiled? I just want to make sure that the children have a grand ideal of what is ahead of them, and that I am able to prepare them for it as much as possible. I'm just one person for sure, but I want to make sure that the children have the capability of navigating this world. Man, I mean, it's really wild. It's truly wild. So yeah, you know, that's the role of a father in shaping confident children and just being that parental role. I want to talk about that a lot more. Family traditions. I want to talk about the family tradition. If you got any family traditions, let me know. We definitely welcome your build for sure. But definitely want to talk about family traditions. You know, how those traditions keep us grounded. A lot of us probably don't even have any family traditions. You know, the things that we do. How many of you have been to a family reunion in the last year or two. How was that for you? You dig? Family traditions. So, I want to speak about not only the ones that I have currently, but the ones that I want to create with my children. I want to make sure that we make things our own, if that makes sense to those listening. We are the family, so we gotta do something as a family, as a unit. Co-parenting after divorce or separation. So look, I want to talk about this. This is a thing I seen prior, and I'm going through it myself, and need to make sure that I document my stance on where I stand and when I stand on the topics I stand on. I might not go into this too much because, I won't hold you up. My co-parenting situation is not the best. Oh, Lord. Man, if you can relate, let me know. But I definitely want to talk about co-parenting because it's definitely necessary. I went to a co-parenting class that was a part of my divorce, and I got 2 certificates, so I figure I can learn and talk to y'all about some shit when it comes to co-parenting. Teaching children about money and responsibility early. Yes, this is one thing I want to talk to y'all about for sure. Financial literacy. Yeah, at an early age, I won't even hold you up. My daughter was like 6, maybe 7, and me and her had a whole 20-minute conversation about taxes, and that was because she wanted to know about it. So yeah, I want to lean toward that. I want to lean toward being able to I don't want to say express, but just being able to talk about how to raise children, not only in this digital age, but with a keen sense of financial responsibility. Like I give my children chores, and then my children want money, but they don't do the chores. So that's how I'm going to teach them certain things. I got a friend who says she teaches her children about money through, if you want some snacks, you better do some chores because I'm paying you for this. So like, yeah, this costs this much, this costs that much, this costs this much. So let's get it and let's make it happen. So yeah, that's the couple things I know that I want to talk about with the family. I just want to talk about how you can not let the family struggles be setbacks, turn them into lessons and things like that. So I can speak from the perspective of an ex-husband and a single parent, and I want to just like give my perspective, for sure. Revolution. What does revolution mean to you? What does it mean to you? I want to try to get into talking about the revolution mindset. How to change the way we think, how to change the way we live, how to change the way we eat to survive. And still I see no changes. It's important to notate and be able to speak on social justice and music and how artists can shape music and movements. The quote unquote agenda is real. However you want to take it, whatever you want to label it, it's real. And they're using technology to basically spread it. So it's up to us to use the technology to kind of fight back. And I want to speak on it, any way I can, though. Building financial freedom as a form of revolution. We can talk about that. I will make sure that I can speak about how I can speak about the things I want to speak about when I want to speak about the things I want to speak about. So like we'll do it like that. And when you know how to play the game, or when you know the game that's being played, you know the instructions and all, it makes it so much easier to play, for sure. Everyday activism. Small actions that create big change. This might sound crazy. I don't litter. Out of the year, 365 days, just to be even reasonable, 350 of those days, I will refuse to allow anything in my hand, to just flutter away from me and touch the ground. I'll go pick it up. Occasionally, I'll pick up somebody else's trash. This planet is the whole planet is yours. You don't even understand it. And the way people treat it is crazy. So, the more we're able to take care of the planet, the more blessings the planet will give to us. So, just everyday activism. Just the little small stances that you take that no matter what, a pebble eventually has a large ripple. It'll have the same ripple as a stone. They all get large, you dig? So don't underestimate the power of doing something small. I also want to talk about like that. Man, listen. I also want to talk about discipline. Being able to have self-discipline is a revolution within itself, within you. You have to have a certain mind frame to be like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and it's gonna go like this, and stick to the plan. Not be deviated from it. Trust me, I've been deviated. I deviate sometimes, but yeah, I want to speak about sticking to the plan, whatever the plan may be. Making sure that you hold yourself accountable. That's a revolution of itself. So yeah. The whole thing is keeping momentum alive, not allowing something to die, not speaking about it because it's old. Like, it's so crazy. Cardi B and what's her name? Nicki Minaj, they beefing over the internet, but nobody's talking about those two people that was hung in the trees. More people are talking about Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, than they are about the two men that were hung in the trees. So, don't let the momentum die. Speak about it. Talk about it. Do something about it. For sure. And it's occurred to me that I've become an OG. Man, I've become an OG, and I have to actually live like that. Like, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, I always called myself a G, if you will. But now I'm an OG. I'm a double OG or nothing like that. Triple OG. But I'm definitely an OG. That's crazy. I'll be around 18, 19, 20-year-olds sometimes, male and female, and it's just wild. I got stepchildren your age. Hey, what? So I got to act like it, and I got to set precedent and examples. I need to let the younger ones know that no matter what you see out there, there is a behind the scenes that is a lot deeper, and this is just one man's perspective of it, and I'm going to share this with you. So, I do kick it with the youth. Maybe not as decently as I maybe could or should, but I definitely do kick it with the youth. Let them know what's going on. And share experiences for sure. Edutainment. I don't know who coined that phrase, edutainment, but edutainment. Educational entertainment. Entertainment with some education in it. Edutainment. Y'all not trying to hear me quote science facts and aliens and extraterrestrials and extra dimensionals, and y'all not trying to hear that for real. Y'all not. That's Joe Rogan's lane. Like I'm on that tip too. But if y'all want to hear that junk, I can go in on it. I really can. But the whole ideal is I want to make sure that I speak about things that are happening around us. And at least make it palatable. Palatable? Did I say that word right? Talk to me if I didn't say that word right. I'm going to talk about things going on in the music industry, the music business, the evolution of the business itself. I will be speaking about comedy. I love comedy. I will say that it's so dope to laugh at whatever. We're going to talk about some movies. I don't really too much watch movies or television shows, but the ones that I watch, I'm going to talk about them. Let's talk about them. Show, you dig? Like, why not? You dig? Oh, I don't keep up with the Joneses for sure. So, like, if y'all still watching Game of Thrones, that's cool. But you're not going to hear about it from me. I think I hear somebody creeping on me. We'll see what happens. We can talk about it for sure. Streaming platforms versus traditional TV. Like really and truly, which do you prefer? How is that working out for you? Do you only have Wi-Fi and a Roku TV, or do you still got digital TV? Do you still got, what's going on? What do you prefer? What are your thoughts about this? Not us not having tangibles anymore. I have my own feelings about that. So I'm going to really talk about this edutainment from those type of aspects. Talk about the business a lot more. I can only really talk about the music business because I'm in it, and there's a couple other businesses that I could talk about, or we can just talk business in general. You know what I mean? For real. It I can give you as much behind the scenes as possible, but in the same breath, I don't want to spoil the magic. Nah, son. I know as an artist, we hold a responsibility. The responsibility to not only service, but uplift our communities. So, I do want to hold people accountable through my lens. I will say names if necessary. To both harm and heal our community, our culture, our peoples. I wouldn't speak on it, so I'm gonna use this platform for that. Like I'm no malicious at all, no maliciousness intent. Just really calling in from my experience, or and my Just calling it like I see it, if we say it like that. We could talk about it. Man, let's talk about it. Drop a comment. Follow me in UKNOE. Yeah, hey, listen, I'm going to take this time right quick. Hold on, wait. I'm going to figure this out. Hold on, wait. We're going to do this, and then I'm going to do a commercial, I guess. The thin line between fame and influence. Man, a lot of people think they're influencers. A lot of people are out there lying to you. A lot of people are using AI to hustle you out some money because they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just, taking some information, copying and pasting it, and they regurgitating it without no real love for what they're doing. So, there's a thin line between fame and influence, and you got to make it to the point where the people around you know. Trying to tell as many stories as I can too, just so I can tie everything up. Everybody listens to a good story. I don't know if I'm a good storyteller, but I can. I've been through some things. So yeah, family, revolution, edutainment. I'm gonna take a good quick commercial break and say I've been working on some projects. Keys to the Streets TV. There is a event going on December 30th. Wait. Let me bring it up so I can say it properly. That test is it's crazy. So yeah, it's an event going on Los Angeles, California, downtown. Keys to the Streets TV. Listen, $1,000 to a winning artist, $1,000 to the winning vendor, and $1,000 if you can outsmoke the rest of the folk. Yeah, it's crazy. Keys to the Streets TV.com. Inbox her. Inbox me. We'll get you secured and locked in on a slot. I do believe it's a limited available slots for this particular event. It's going down. The gift that keeps giving. Yeah. Holla at me if you need some more information. So let's go back to breaking down the spiritual health and hip hop of the fresh. So spirituality. I'm the type of person, for real. I know that there's a supreme deity that created all the things that we got going on in front of us. A lot of it cannot be explained correctly. Some of it can. I like to delve into the metaphysical side of things and the quantum reality that we live in, the multiple universal reality that we live in. I keep it simple as possible, but in the same breath, it's a lot going on. I am able to speak about these things because I've done a lot of studying, done a lot of experience, and I've done a lot of witnessing myself. So yeah, I want to talk about the power of meditation and stillness in the noisy world. Man, my household is noisy. As you can tell, there hasn't been a noise out here yet. I haven't been interrupted. So, I like my quiet. I like my solitude. I'm actually going to take a nap in a little bit, just so I can get some more quiet and solitude for a little bit before I get active for real. And then, I don't really want to get too involved into it, but we're going to talk about faith and religion, and throw spirituality in there as well. A lot of people, I tell people, believe has a lie in the middle of the word. So, you got to be careful with that one. Talk about spiritual practices that strengthen self-confidence. If you know me, I'm all about self-confidence. So, we're definitely going to talk about some of those spiritual practices that you can do to keep your energy, attraction, and vibration. You keep those high. You talk about how you can shape your life through those three things as well. I believe music is a spiritual experience. So, not just talking about gospel music or whatever, but just music itself. The vibrations of the keys and the harmonic frequencies, they help different properties that actually fine tune the universe around us in one way or another. So, music can be seen as a therapy, if you ask me. A very spiritual experience, depending on how it's used. It can be used negatively, it can be used positively, but definitely it's an experience nonetheless. Balancing spirituality with everyday struggles. Like, man, listen, I tell people I'm celibate unless I got to celibate. And won't even hold you up, man. Like, I was celibate for a whole year. And no, I'm not. But I don't know. We're going to see what happens moving forward. And I'm not going to say, we're going to try a year again. I did my year for a reason. And sometimes things don't work out the way that you expect it to. So we'll leave it at that. But, celibate unless I got to celibate. That just kind of like gives you an idea of how you balance these spirituality and everyday struggles, But there's a lot of people that battle with something that's a little bit more than that, and that's that, you dig? So, gratitude as a spiritual discipline. Be thankful, and trust me, if you're thankful, if you're appreciative, that type of energy comes back to you. It really does. Ancestors, legacy, and spiritual roots. We're going to talk a little bit about this. I'll probably get some people on the line to talk about this more so than me. But so tap in for those moments that I can get that. But I've actually been given permission to talk about phone calls or to release phone calls. I don't know, but to record phone calls. So I have certain phone calls that are really, really deep, and just the phone call themselves, on a personal tip, leads to a lot of introspection. So I've been given permission by 4 people, I think, at this point to record phone calls, and all 4 of them, they say they're down for it, and they just want to make sure that if I release something, that they have the final okay, and I'm dope with that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Health, man, I want to talk about mental health. I definitely want to talk about it. I want it to be a thing to where we can discuss mental health, because it's so serious. A lot of people don't even know that they're going through things, but they are going through things, and this is not normal. It is not normal at all to see dead bodies around you. It's just not normal at all to hear gunshots and you have to duck because people are being stupid. It's we're going to talk about mental health a lot through the show. That's something that has become more important to me in life, So we're gonna talk about that. Fitness without the gym, man. Listen, I'm working on this. I promise you. I got a gym membership. I love my gym membership. Planet Fitness. I'm a Black Card member. I go up in there. I do my thing and hydro massage myself and all that other type of stuff. So I love going to the gym. However, my time does not dedicate to the gym for a lot. So I need to continue to focus on working from home without the gym. So we're gonna talk about that. Main focus has been the abs. I'm trying to get my sex symbol status back. So we'll talk about it a little bit more. Nutrition myths versus facts. Gonna talk about how these things really operate the body. I've been figuring this out: carbs and calories and diet and caloric deficits and fats, oils. We're going to talk about these things. I'm going to make sure that, like I said, I'm doing this as a brief overview of the things I'm going to talk about over the coming weeks. This is definitely a little bit longer of a show. I typically don't like trying to go over an hour, but if the information is there, the information is there. I just want to make sure that I touch on each one of these things: the spirituality, health and hip hop, family revolution, and edutainment. I want to make sure I touch on each one of these topics for at least, just a little bit of time so I can put it out there. You dig? Like, for sure. I know that, and this is why I'm about to take a nap. I know that a lot of us ain't getting enough sleep. So, I know I'm not getting enough sleep right now. That's why I'm going back and taking a nap. But a lot of us don't get enough sleep. And I want to talk about the harm that does. I want to talk about what we can do to overcome it. Proper sleeping techniques, proper sleeping patterns. I just want to talk about it. Not passing judgment on nobody, just want to talk about it, you dig? So, also want to talk about holistic health. Holistic health. As opposed to modern medicine. And I don't bash modern medicine. Modern medicine, they put people back together. So, but I definitely want to talk about the people who are out here growing dandelions. Did you know, when's the last time you seen a dandelion? Did you know that because of the company Monsanto's, dandelions are becoming extinct? Check on your local dandelion. Didn't know that they get so big. You can use them as greens and things like that. Man, what is the thing that people been talking about growing? Mullein. Oh, man, they say that junk is expensive. And if you can find you a wild mullein and grow it and cultivate it. Yeah. I know I want to talk about gardening, too. I want to talk about video games and, mix all that up in there somehow, some way. But, those are things that I actually like. And I, just want to get my thoughts on that. I just want to tap on some subjects. I want to also speak, when it comes to the health, about how stress destroys it and how you can manage it. Lord knows I've lived a stressful life, entire life, still going through stresses. But, I got to take time to breathe and time to breathe. We'll talk about it for sure. Because, it's definitely, stress is a killer. It's up there, dude. It's really up there. Affordable health habits. Just want to talk about things like that. Things you can do to just be healthy. Man, we're living in a time where folks is out here looking like couch potatoes, literally. You don't have to do that. There's a better way. There's a better way. And I want to talk about it for sure. And how we can make just better changes more efficient and affordable, it's just more comfortable and affordable different ways. You dig? That's mainly it for sure. The mind-body connection, how thoughts affect health. This is why you got to think positive. Don't ever downplay yourself. And yeah, just making it. You know what I mean? That's it. The mind, body, and connection. If you think about it, if you think you could punch through a wall, you might be able to punch through a wall. That doesn't mean that your body is capable of handling the impact from the wall, but you'll probably be able to come punch through the wall. It's that's. We'll talk about that. Mind over matter is for sure that concept right there. But you have to have your mind trained well enough so that your body can follow through. Bruce Lee said something about when he throws punches and kicks, he just imagines his punch or kick already there. So his body just automatically reacts to the instantaneousness of, I want to be there. And that's why he was able to throw fast punches. He was able to throw them hard because he practiced that. So, yeah. Hip-hop started out in the park. It's been about 50 years that hip-hop began. It's still a baby in music genre. I want to talk about where it's been and where it's going. Just from my perspective, I'm still a baby. I'm still a student. because I'm in this business, we're going to talk about the business of hip hop. We're going to talk about just all types of things that go through. If you didn't know, I started a I guess you could say a consultation firm for musicians, the Music Industry Consultation or the Music Industry Career Academy, Mike Academy. Yeah. Follow me on Twitter or Instagram. I'll be trying to figure out how to drop some information on there. I'm not saying I'm busy, but man, it's just taking a whole other different thing for me. I have this, and I want to make sure that I'm doing that. But maybe I'm spreading myself too thin. But I mean, I do that as well. So I'm going to use this time to actually tap in on that, and just drop some information whenever I can, however I can. If you got any questions, maybe I should dedicate some time for people who might got questions. You can inbox me. I'm telling you, it gets to a point where I might answer your question, but I'm definitely going to ask you to donate or book a consultation for sure. I think it would be worth it for sure, especially if it's something that you want to do and move forward with. So like, yeah. We're going to talk about how hip-hop bridges generations and cultures. Because if you think about it, I did a song with Coogee Rap, MC Breed, Cannabis. But I'm also looking at doing the songs with this young cat my daughter listens to that sounds like Eminem. I just want to do a song with him so that my daughter can be like, oh, that's my daddy with the dude that I like to listen to. You dig? That's I think that'd be dope. So like, yeah, how we can bridge the generations, My daughter likes me when I rap. She likes the daddy raps. So hip hop fashion from streetwear to $1 billion brands. So listen, I'm going to showcase a couple different brands every once in a while for sure because I have worn them or I wear them. But in the same breath, I am not the most fashionable person in the world. I am wife beater, white tee, jeans, Timberlands. I mean, that's that's hip hop for sure. Hip hop for sure, but that's about as deep as fashion as it get for me for real. But I can appreciate for sure. But we definitely gonna talk about it because I we can't really be cool if you ain't never had a Car Kanai jacket, a Car Kanai anything for real. I'm just saying it like that. I'm gonna talk about women in hip hop. And I don't want to talk about them negatively. We're going to talk about them in a positive light. Like even though they're going through their thing right now, Nicki and Cardi, Nicki is the dopest female hip hop artist currently. Cardi is the most electrifying female hip hop artist currently. I like both of them for different reasons. I would never put them against each other. I hope that their beef, their feud, their disagreement, their misunderstanding, I hope that they really just find a way to cease that. You dig? I really do. I want them to move forward and create music together. Real talk, create some music together. That's what I want y'all to do because it's necessary. And we're going to talk about hip-hop being like therapy, man, the story and storytelling and healing through these bars. I know it's like therapy for me. My therapist told me that this was a release. So, like, yeah, definitely going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about the local hip-hop scenes and why they matter. Like, man, this is so important. I'm in the local hip-hop scene, so we're definitely going to talk about that. I want to touch on all these things. Family Revolution, edutainment, spirituality, health, and hip-hop, all in one show. That's just a brief overview of all the things I will talk about. I'm not trying to talk about them all in one show, but, I just want you to kind of get the idea of the topics that I'm going to be covering over the next couple in the coming weeks, coming months, coming times. This is still a baby to me, and it's growing slowly, but it's still growing, and it's evolving too, and I've been podcasting before everybody was podcasting, for real. and it's been my thing. So I want to make sure that I'm cultivating it in the correct manner, so that way I can continue to do this on ways that are cohesive and conducive to my lifestyle. You know, I didn't want to do this to follow a trend. I wanted to do this for me, and it just so happened it became a trend, and I wasn't taking it serious at all. So it's time to take it serious, you dig? If you want an interview on Fresh Radio, man, get at me. Contact me. NUKNOE Fresh FRESHH .radio RADIO on the Instagram. DM me. Let's talk about it. Get you on the show. Interview you for 30 minutes. No, we'll work it out for you. We'll work it out for you, man. So get at me. Also, October 19th, it's like in 2 Sundays, I will be releasing my very first project. It's an EP, sketches. Oh, no, it's not sketches. It's art form. The EP, 5 tracks. It's actually a classic CD. I'm not going to be releasing it digital at all in the slightest. The only song that would be digital is me and MC Bree. The other songs will not be released digital, not at this time. The actual project has 5 songs. However, I printed up this first batch as a collector's edition. I will number each and every single CD and sleeve. I will autograph a very select few of these sleeves and CDs. After the first initial batch is gone, there will not be another CD like this. I'm going to press up another run, and it will not be the collector's edition. So, take advantage of it. Pre-sales right now, $15. We're going to keep the physicals the way they are. I might even do some digital as well, but it definitely won't be on the streaming site. So check me out, Artform, the EP, October 19th. Holla at me, DM me. Got a photo shoot coming up on the 10th, the 11th? Yeah, the 11th. It's gonna be dope. I ain't had a photo shoot in a minute, so shout out to KB the photographer. Yeah, we're gonna make some happen. We're definitely gonna make some happen. I got an interview coming up on. Where's my interview? I don't even have. Let's see. This is why I need to be more organized. I have an interview coming up on October 10th. Voices of an Artist out in New York. I think I got another interview coming up. Oh no, there's been a couple different interviews going on, but tap in for that. Shout out to Next Legacy. Shout out to DJ Lionhead. Shout out to Jonathan. Can't remember your last name. I want to say it was Daniels, but I don't know. I don't believe it's Jonathan Daniels. Either way, I appreciate y'all for allowing me on your platform. Yeah, that was dope. I know I'm missing one more person, but I charge to my heart or my brain, not to my heart. If you are trying to get in contact with me, the best way to do that is going on the website NUKNOE.LINK. All of my social media contacts are on that site. You can also purchase the ebooks. I have 3 ebooks for sale. Rise and Radiate. Royalty Collections 101. Royalty Collection 201. And I'm also working on 5 things you should know about the music business. That is coming soon. If you have any other questions, if you wanted to get a consultation, if you wanted to get on Fresh Radio for an interview, if you wanted to get a verse from me, holler at me. NUKNOE.link. I'll work with you. This has been an interesting episode of Fresh Radio. I can say that. I am going to try to do this again next week. I know try to do this. I am going to be doing this again next week. Rain, sleet, snow, shine. The next step for me is to... I don't know what the next step for me is at this point, but I do know that eventually I am going to have to do videos. So y'all going to have to see me look like a crazy. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, random outbursts, please let me know. NUKNOE on all social media platforms. This has been the Young Man Nuke, and I appreciate y'all listening to the Family Revolution, edutainment, spirituality, health, and hip-hop all in one show. Y'all be smooth.
Yeah. Hey. I know a lot of people cause I've been a lot of places. Might forget a name, but I don't forget faces. My game been tight for a quarter century, cause I still speak to people that I met in elementary. The only rule I follow to get